We do road.
Well, good morning all.
Road trip and the show. All in
We are on the way to Hartbeespoort today to go have our coffee.
Vovo Telo,
Vovo Telo.
for the change.
For
We
a
haven't
change.
been there in a while, in years in fact. Even
Kokorot's going with. So yes, so let's start the adventures again. We're now back in South Africa, so you'll start seeing more adventures, what we're going to be up to, what news we got. But we settled in quite well. As you know, it's power outages again, traffic lights are not working again.
it's like load shedding in the area, but
Load shedding.
now that we're back, we're kind of confident, kind of happy to be back, kind of committed to what we're going to do next. It feels like the right thing. It's almost as if destiny, or whatever you want to call it, is just kind of pulling us in the right direction.
Traffic's on with trucks again today.
Yeah, I see the Joburg Metro stopping trucks again.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's us. We just thought we'd start settling back into the thing called being South African.
Yeah.
Do our Vovo Telo visit for change. We won't be doing it as much as before, because we're trying to be a little bit more careful about how we spend this time around. But despite that, we'll occasionally visit. We did try over the weekend. It's just too busy over weekends, so we decided to do a weekday thing. So that's what we're off to today, just for the morning anyway.
So let the adventures begin.
So for my American friends, we're in South Africa at our favorite gas station in a place called Broederstroom. And how it works in South Africa is you've got an actual attendant that comes to your car. He asks you what you want. You tell him, can you fill up diesel 50 please? You tell him what you want. He fills up your car. He puts in the gas you want. You don't go to the gas pump at all. You don't step out of your car at all. He fills it up. He brings a card machine to you and you pay after you filled up. So essentially what that means is if anything is wrong with your card, or if you don't have money or whatever, you can't pay, but you get the gas in your tank. So it's a little bit of an illogical thing. You'd think that with all the crime and all the corruption, and there are actually many cases where people come to gas stations, they fill up their vehicles, and afterwards they just drive off. So I'm surprised that that is happening, but you know what? Here we have it. It's kind of an interesting situation. And then on top of it, he'll even wash your window, and that's kind of a normal thing. And you typically give him a little bit of a stipend just for the fact that he's doing more than his required job. He'll wash your window. They are typically trying to give good service. So it's a different experience. I mean, in the US, I've stood in near 0 Fahrenheit, and I've had to get out and stick my own gas in. So in South Africa, you've got the gas attendants. They're typically very friendly. When you visit the place a lot, you get to know them. They get to know you. So it kind of gives you a little bit of a relationship. So that's something interesting and something different about South Africa. For those who haven't visited or haven't been, that's how gas is filled up here.
Say hi. Hi from Vovo Telo.
How's Bookie?
The Bookie. So this is where we came for breakfast. Our old Vovo Telo. There we go. And Elmarie.
And of course me.
And of course you.
Bookie.
This is what Harties does. They burn the bush
Every year.
every year.
There's more here. Right?
They burn the
There's
bush.
A lot of fire closer. So they burn all the bush to prevent bushfires from coming in the middle of a certain period, because sometimes there are thousands of hectares that burn like this. So they do the so-called preventative fire strips, and they burn the whole area. But it causes a lot of soot to hang in the air. It causes sinus. I'm sitting with a sinus problem right now. It makes the air extremely dry. In fact, you wake up in the middle of the night, your tongue is stuck to the bottom of your mouth. It's so dry because all this heat and all this fire and all this smoke, it just robs all humidity out of the air. So while it's a good thing for nature and for the plants and everything, it's actually not so good for the people here. Some people question how healthy or unhealthy it is. So that's what they do in this area. So as far as you drive in this area, you'll see the burnt parts, huge, thousands and thousands of hectares of grass and brush burned. And I don't know what it does to all the animals, but there you go.
So this is Hartbeespoort. We're now on the way home. Gone for our coffee and our breakfast at Vovo Telo. So let's show you a little bit of what the
So all
area
this
is.
stuff on the left is the stuff. This is like the African art and stuff that they sell on the sides of the road. You get a lot of that in this area. All this is like African art, things that people sell, that the local artists make. some of it's probably made in some kind of industrial type setting, but there's a lot of this stuff around, and things you can buy, and things you can have, and things you can own that are made by local little young artists or single artists.